Let me be clear. This isn't Marvel. They're not reshooting it. I mean, at least that's not the intention. They may have to now, but this wasn't for reshoots. It wasn't for bad audience test screenings. This was because this would have been an absolute disaster. I'll put it this way. Everybody, Stephanie and Michelle, everybody in our YouTube community would have made a fortune tearing this show apart for the next few months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would have made an absolute fortune tearing this show apart. Renegade Online. This is, I had a feeling this was coming. And I don't watch everything on Apple TV Plus. They do have some really good shows on there. They do some really good stuff. I got to give Apple credit. When they make good stuff, it is really freaking good. And when they make stuff that's bad, I mean, whatever shows they buy, man, they Amber Heard that stuff. All right, so this is one of them. And I'm going to get to this article here. Obviously, Jessica Chastain is a little perturbed. Her brand new multi-million-dollar show that she's a star in, that I'm sure she was expecting to win a boatload of Emmys for, and we'll tell you why, has now been indefinitely postponed from release.
Oh, is it indefinitely postponed?
To my knowledge, I mean, Apple...
Well, there's no date set to put it out.
This show was coming out like in a week.
I want to say September 28th is what I read, maybe?
Yeah, this weekend. The show was supposed to... It was... Because I was watching... The minute I saw a trailer for this role, like a couple of weeks ago, I turned on Apple TV. When did I see... Oh! It's when they dropped the big trailer for this when F1 dropped. So when because F1 is still not on physical yet, they wanted to take it to Apple TV first. I was like, fine. Supposed to get my physical media sometime around Christmas. Apple, F1, Warner Brothers, and we turned on Renegade Junior and I went to go watch F1 again because we freaking love that movie. And then we saw a trailer for this rolling before we started. I was like, what is this? Oh, they made like a spy thriller with the wait, what? Huh? So if you don't know the premise of the show, the trailer gives it away to an extent, but we got confirmation on what it is. I'm going to get back to that article here in a second. I'm going to pull up because we had a quote here from Variety. Variety actually released their review for this because the review embargo...
It lifts tomorrow.
Well, I think it lifted today.
Today? I thought it was tomorrow. I thought it was the 25th.
Oh, no, I don't know. But Variety had posted this. Disparu pulled a pull quote from it. And you can read my post up here. I knew it. It was total left-wing propaganda fantasizing that conservative white men are the biggest terrorist threat in the country. In light of Charlie Kirk being murdered by another leftist terrorist and the absolute preponderance of evidence from whom the overwhelming violence is wrought, Apple would be wise to permanently bury this show in a digital black hole. Unless they want to be ridiculed forever. That was my statement on this. Disper posted this, and this was the pull quote from the Variety key. This is it. Apple is making a huge mistake. So I don't want to read through their whole review, but this is the key. Having watched the 8-episode series, this is Variety magazine for review, which was set to be under embargo. Okay, you're right, Steph, till September 25th. So tomorrow, you were right. It's clear that the Savant is precisely the type of show America needs right now. It looks at a sector of mostly white male individuals who believe that America belongs to them, fueled by hate, bigotry, xenophobia, and misogyny. They talk cruelly and candidly online about enacting harm and violence towards individuals or, quote, others who they feel are unworthy of being in, quote, their country. Nowhere in the show does it mention Donald Trump's name other than depicting white nationalists in a negative light. In other words, let me tell you why Apple pulled this show. Because probably one of the chief big bad guys in this show was named something like Barley Chirk. Okay? Yeah. It's like, you could... It's all over it. And as soon as I saw the preview for this, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be this is going to be, pardon my French, this is going to be a leftist wet dream of BS on how the right is violent. And Jessica Chastain, who is the principal on the show, the lead actress on the show, it's basically her show from what I can tell. Pull the article back up. And so here's the setup. Get ready for it. You could pretty much set your watch by it. White woman living in suburban America, interracial family, married to a black guy, interracial kids. And then she sits on her computer and she hunts down white MAGA terrorists. It's the show. Apple, to their credit, threw this thing out the airlock this week because this would have been really bad timing. Jessica Chastain and Apple are not on the same page. This is from Deadline magazine. When it comes to the streamer's decision to postpone the release. And again, Apple has said postpone. They have not announced when it will be unpostponed, just to be clear. After careful consideration, we, Apple, have made the decision to postpone the Savant, a spokesperson said Tuesday in a statement to Deadline. We appreciate your understanding and look forward to releasing the series at a future date. Let me be clear. This isn't Marvel. They're not reshooting it. I mean, at least that's not the intention. They may have to now, but this wasn't for reshoots. It wasn't for bad audience test screenings. This was because this would have been an absolute disaster. I'll put it this way. Everybody, Stephanie and Michelle, everybody in our YouTube community, on YouTube, I mean, would have made a fortune tearing this show apart for the next few months.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Would have made an absolute fortune tearing this show apart. And I Disparu, probably the most pissed of all when he posted this. I think he was really looking forward to
looking forward to it.
ripping this one a new one. Oh, good Lord. And they say, again, we'll look forward to releasing the series at a future date. I promise you right now, if they're going to be able to release this, they're probably going through this thing with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to be chopping bits and hunks out of this thing. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're editing it out. If they did have a Charlie Kirk type character, then yeah, they're trying to edit that character out in some way. If they had like this character who is right wing conservative, who is incredibly religious, they could look at that character and be like, oh, that's too close to Charlie Kirk, and then edit that character out. Jessica Chastain, she's really angry about it. She's saying that like this is something that America needs right now. She was looking forward to playing that white liberal woman taking down all of the white men, all of the evil white men. This is nothing but propaganda. It's just telling you that the real enemy of the country is the white patriot. That is the true enemy of the country, the one that lives for God, guns, and country. I feel like I would put this probably the same category as that movie Adolescence. That it doesn't matter what age. If they are white, they will hurt you. It doesn't matter at what age these white men are. They can be young or they can be older, but the white man is the devil, and they want to get rid of you. They want to hurt you. They'll never be on your side. The white man evil, white man bad. It's really ridiculous. It's propaganda. It's more propaganda.
Yeah.
Disguised as entertainment.
Well, and Apple is so right in taking this off, because especially with, I mean, we not that there is never any right-wing violence, but like all the last violence, unless I'm wrong, you guys correct me, has not been right-wing.
The concentration, severity, frequency of it is very, very one-sided. I mean, no, it's like, well, the people say, well, the right does this and the right does that. Like, let's look back historically here. And especially when you kind of deconstruct look, think about the numbers here. People saying, well, there's been more violence from the right than the left. The problem is that who's writing the statistics? You got people like Jimmy Kimmel, in his heart of hearts, still believes it was MAGA that shot Charlie Kirk, because he came out and he said it on television. He didn't even apologize for that. And the thing this morning with the ICE detention center, immediately, right wing. Nope, not. But these people are still going to swear forever that it was. It's like, how much of this made up stuff are we going to go with? But I mean, this whole show was predicated on this continued. And I bet how many times in this show Were they going to use the word, like you said, right-wing extremists, neo-Nazis, the right Nazis, Nazi? I mean, again, this is the kind of language that the left has weaponized in terms of, not that words are weapons, folks, or words are violence. They're not. But I mean, when you weaponize language to say that you're conditioning one side to believe that the other side is literally Hitler, and then you wonder why we wind up with things like Charlie Kirk and stuff that we had today with ICE agents. But just the last,
they put that out there like at the beginning, like today, the ICE shooting. They'll be like, "Oh, right wing, right wing, right wing," because more people are tuning in as when it's happening. Right? It's very rare that they will tune in later on to find out what the truth actually is. But when they hear, you get like peak viewership as it's happening, and it's kind of like the Stephen King thing when he put out that wrong opinion about Charlie Kirk. Millions of people saw that.
Yeah.
Millions of people
he
saw
was gonna
that
get
tweet
sued
from
into
Stephen King.
oblivion. Yeah.
And not as many people saw his follow-up tweets.
No.
Right?
No.
Correcting that information. Same
Yeah.
thing with this. At the height of what is happening, especially like with the ICE shooting, more people are going to tune in, more people are going to look it up, and they're going to initially see the news reporting it as, oh, it could possibly be MAGA, and that's what's going to stick in their head. That's what's going to stick in their head. It's like, oh, well, I heard it was this, and all that. As fast as information flies right now, nowadays, that's going to spread like wildfire. Not the correction. That might spread a little bit slower. The correct information will spread a little bit slower, but immediately. That's why they have to get it out really, like, right away. It could be MAGA, possible MAGA connection, possible the shooter could be, well, the shooter's white, possible MAGA, we're waiting. Yeah, well,
we're gonna talk about that on Renegade Nation. I want to bring this up just to
Well,
kind of,
and I do know, I believe Steph's got to get going.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No problem. Well, look, Stephanie, thank you for spending your birthday time with us tonight.
Of course.
And happy birthday again.
Yes, happy birthday to the lovely Steph.
In the last 5 years, this is Jessica Chastain saying this. Okay, this is her quote about the Apple canceling the Savant that was coming out in like 3 days. In the last 5 years since we've been making the show, we've seen an unfortunate amount of violence in the United States. The kidnapping attempt on Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and if you recall,
wasn't that like a fake thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
The January 6th attack on the Capitol, also a lot of questions on that one.
Well, and not to mention, let's just point out on that, there was one person killed. I mean, obviously, it was not great that everyone in the big mess that became of it, but there was one person killed, and it was a female veteran that was unarmed and shot by the Capitol Police.
Yep. That's it. And a lot of feds.
Yes.
Pardon me. So, yeah, the Whitmer thing, big old, I mean, there was a huge investigation into that. That thing was sus as hell. I mean, evidence was bad. January 6th attack on the Capitol. Okay, the assassination attempts on President Trump by people on the left. Political assassinations of Democratic representatives in Minnesota.
Wasn't that by people on the left?
People, Tim Walz appointees, and there was not. Again, the assumption was that he was MAGA because he killed a Democrat in Minnesota. But the Democrat in Minnesota also just the day before voted against her party lines to get rid of welfare benefits for illegals in the state. Jury's still out on that one. The attack on Speaker Pelosi's husband. I'm sorry, Paul Pelosi was caught with somebody that the Pelosi's personally knew because there were photographs of them together. The man had a well-documented history of drug use and being a male prostitute. And they were caught in the house together in their underwear. You be the judge. Okay. The assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. All right, you get that one. The recent shooting at an ABC affiliate station in California, also by a leftist, and over 300 school shootings across this country. These incidents
mostly by a certain community.
By a lot of them by a certain community, and almost all of them, I think if we go back historically, you'll find that these kids were also pumped full of psychotropic medications. They were on Ritalin, Adderall, everything else under the sun, right? These incidents, though far from encompassing the full range of violence, illustrate a broader mindset that crosses the political spectrum and must be confronted. Except the show was all about, apparently, MAGA.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. The whole thing talking about Variety magazine says in no uncertain terms that this was about. Let me pull this up again real quick. Let me get the other screen. And this is why I think this. She's trying to smooth it out like, oh, everybody's bad. But again, read Variety's own poll quote. Somebody who actually watched the entire 8-episode series for review. I don't think they dropped the details here because of the embargo, but at the same time, they can talk about their general impressions of the show. It looks at a sector of mostly white male individuals who believe that America belongs to them, fueled by hate, bigotry, xenophobia, misogyny. It's all the words the left uses to describe MAGA.
Yes.
So the idea that Jessica Chastain is out there talking about violence in general that is somehow connected to the show, Variety, not Valiant Renegade, has gone ahead and called, pardon my French, bullshit on this whole thing. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.